Max got a really good offensive scheme and play caller. Justin doesn't. Max got, I don't want to say really good weapons, but he's got more than one or two, and Justin doesn't. And so, no, Justin, again, I try to get people under. I don't believe in this philosophy of he's ready or not ready. I think it is such an individualized situation. Justin's going to be fine. But here would be my a little bit of pushback is, all right, so I've never coached, but I know one thing. If I'm playing on the road against the defending Super Bowl champions that have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL unit-wise and one of the best pass rush individuals in the NFL, and Shaq Barrett, I sure am never, not a single snap, going to single up my fifth string right tackle one-on-one in pass protection. I'm just not going to do it. Philosophically, your number one thing should be, what do we not do in these games? And they singled up their right tackle, who, again, is either a fourth or fifth stringer way too many times. That is stupid football. So you're saying Matt Nagy is doing stupid things football-wise? Yes.
Again,
okay.
I just want to put the two things together for everybody out there listening.
Here's another thing.
Okay.
Go rewatch the game, because I'm going to
please.
do this on Get Up. And it got confirmed last night. So if you go watch his first interception last week against the Packers, it was a frantic, urgent, on the field, quick snap. Well, it comes out that in the helmet, he was told, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball quickly. The defense has 12 men on the field, free play. That becomes an interception. Yesterday, his first interception is a very similar situation. You're watching the game, all of a sudden there's sudden urgency out of the offense.
Yeah, they're trying to quick snap.
They're trying to quick snap and get 12 guys on the field. He was told that in his helmet. Again, this was confirmed last night at like 11 o'clock from a Chicago local writer. And I remember texting the group text for Get Up, like, hey, I think that was the same situation. That is on coaching. The coaches are in his helmet saying, quick snap him. We got 12 on defense. Take your shot. It's a free play. But they were wrong. So, we could kill Justin all we want. Saying Justin needs to play better is like saying farmers need rain in the summertime. I'm aware of that, guys. But the coaching staff is doing as little as they can to help him play well.
Yeah, the coaching staff is not.
It's bad.
And Dan is right. The quarterback situation, even if we took Mac Jones and we dropped him in Chicago, I'd be afraid for him.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, they're not doing anything to give this guy an opportunity for success. Everything is like they don't know what they're doing.
But we knew this situation. We knew it.
See, I didn't know.
It's not a good situation.
I didn't, because I'm practical. At least I think I am. And when I'm drafting a guy to move up to get him, and I insert him into the lineup, I'm going to give him a handful of plays where he can have success on the road against a team like Tampa Bay. I'm not about to ask him to do things that I know he's not ready to do yet.
Yeah.
Makes absolutely zero sense to me.
I just kind of laugh because when I think about the Bears, I'm like, all right, this is the same organization that fired Lovie Smith after going 10-6 and 2 NFC championship appearances. And I see this and I see what those expectations are. And they're things that are very apparent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're very apparent constantly. I don't understand how Matt Nagy is still in a position to lead this team. I've been saying it all year. I know Key said that he thinks he's going to get an extension. I just don't see it.
Look, if they wind up finishing second in the division, he'll probably get an extension.
I know this is not a popular take anymore. Yeah. I know it sounds like I'm not up to the times and everything, but I think there's been such a rush to try to win in the rookie quarterback window. Mm-hmm. I think it's overemphasized at this point. You notice the champion quarterbacks a lot of times are the veteran guys who are getting paid. And my point is this. I don't know that if I was running an organization, maybe he doesn't play at all this year. When I was a kid, if you had a rookie quarterback playing, no one expected him to do anything, right? And nowadays, it's like the expectations, because a couple guys have done it, are that he's supposed to be good right away.
Well, hold on, Max. I think you're asking the wrong question. Shouldn't the question be, can this young quarterback thrive under the future leadership of Matt Nagy?
All right.
Like, that's a legit question. If you want to talk about this year, give him a pass, fine.
Jay.
Are you betting on that, Dan?
No.
Thank you.
No. How about this expert analysis? No. All right, but this is why the Chicago situation is, again, it's such an individualized one. The reason Justin had to play was because the general manager and head coach, in my opinion, are fighting for their jobs. So they have to go out and prove, hey, we've got this really young, talented quarterback that we can develop. And right now that's not happening. Now, maybe they've gotten assurance that they're back next year. I think that would be a grave mistake. And to answer your question, no, there's nothing that has transpired over the first couple years of Matt Nagy as a head coach with Mitch Trubisky, or in the first 6 or 7 games this year with Justin Fields, that you can honestly, as an organization, point to and say, yeah, I trust this guy. Because I would say this: Justin Fields is the most important draft pick in the Chicago Bears organization.
Since Sid Luckman,
right? Like in the last 20 years,
or
maybe
history, maybe.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
So the most important person in the Bears organization will be the future head coach that oversees Justin Fields' development with the general manager. And I don't all that disagree with that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.